Hello, welcome to Kenty BLITZ, your daily hit of NRL news. And as you can see, we've had a late call up today. We've had a training mishap. Poor old Woz, he can't get out of the hospital at the moment. So nothing to be alarmed about. I think he did a Hartley's or something like that. Well, Johnny, was that what we're here?
That's what we're here. It's good to be here, Paul. It's good to be, mate.
Johnny Elias is with me.
I'm glad to be here. I know you're desperate. It's short notice. I just live around the corner. I'm glad to help.
Well, John, 15 minutes ago we had no one, so you answered the call. So I appreciate you doing that.
It's my pleasure.
Obviously, grand final this week, mate. I'm glad you're here anyway. I want to talk to you about the grand final. Obviously, I know your footy knowledge is very deep, and you think about the game. And you have opinions on how it's getting played. Storm Broncos. Mm-hmm. Which way do you see it going? Just quickly.
Paul, I'd be a hypocrite if I go against Melbourne. We've been tipping them all year. I think they've got leverage on the bench. I just think Melbourne, they've planned this. Every game this year's been a rehearsal for them for this grand final moment.
Let me ask you this. After the games on the weekend, watch both games, obviously you did as well. Yeah. Full-time sounds in the Melbourne game. Craig Bellamy gets up, turns around. Full-time sounds in the Brisbane game. Mm-hmm. Michael Maguire celebrates. What do you think of the different reactions of both coaches?
Jesus, they were so different, weren't they? I seen a Michael Maguire. Is it a celebration? Oh, I can't believe it. We've made the grand final. And where's Bellamy? I see Bellamy going, yeah, this is what we've worked for. I expected this. Bellamy
got up a bit like, this is where I wanted to be, and we're there, and as they say, do it like you've done it before. Maguire, I wasn't quite sure whether Maguire's celebration was that day. Yes, we've made the grand final, because he's got a big up yours to a few people for what's happened this year at the Broncos and how he's got them through this.
Yes.
But the other part, I didn't know whether the celebration was the elation of coming from 14-0 down half-time and running down Penrith, which it could have been a bit of both.
It's a good question, Paul. Yeah, it could have been a both. I think definitely a bit of both.
But the one thing is, Michael Maguire does know how to win premierships. He's done that in England. He did that with South Sydney, as we all know. The Storm have been very quiet all week. I've yet to sort of see Munster say anything. I'm waiting for. I've been thinking about this one, John. Here's my Jerome Hughes is my tip for the Clive Churchill, but I think I might have a little bit. I think I might have a little bit on Cameron Munster as well. Okay, I like the fact that earlier. I shouldn't say I like this. Earlier this year, his father passed away. Mm-hmm. He went away, had a few days to himself, came back into Origin camp, and just played at a level that it was the absolute best of Cameron Munster. And I get the feeling, given his performance against Cronulla, he's priming himself for another one.
His yardage, his running game's it's great. Paul, it's a good tip. Cameron Munster for the Clive Churchill. I'm going different. I'm going for the back row. I think that Katoa, he's going to get the high ball. He plays a lot of minutes. He's the edge on the right side for Melbourne. I think that back row there can probably 2 tries, 1 for my high kick. He's my for the price. Yeah. And as you know, I don't gamble.
All right, let's have a look at this weekend's hot or not for PointsBet. We're going to look at the Clive Churchill medal in the NRL Grand Final. I've just said I like Cameron Munster. He's $7.50. I like Jerome Hughes. He's $8. And Johnny, he's coming with a bit of left field one, but I like it, Johnny. It's Elise Katoa, $19 to win the Clive Churchill medal. It's actually a great price for that. And I would say this, you get back all 3 of them, still come out with a profit. So there you are. PointsBet hot or not, and all 3 blokes right now are running very hot. All right, that's brought to you thanks to PointsBet, built different. Now, Johnny, I want to talk to you about Michael Maguire getting the Broncos to the grand final. He's been is an interesting case study, Michael Maguire. He's much maligned in some circles. He had a tremendous record at South Sydney, built them into premierships, won their first premiership in 40 seasons. But just as he was sort of sitting back and, I suppose, trying to enjoy it, the club ran him out of town. They got rid of him. And part of the reason thrown around them was that he was too tough on the players. There's been complaints this season at the Broncos that he's been too tough on them. When in the interim, he coached at the West Tigers. They complained he was too tough on them. Where does it all sit with you?
Honestly, Paul, what a load of bullshit. Too tough. No one talks about Craig Bellamy. He's supposed to. Well,
Exactly.
he's the yardstick for how hard and how tough they train. No one talks about him.
And where do you think Maguire learned it from?
Thank you, Melbourne Storm.
All these years as the assistant to Bellamy down there. But I find it fascinating because the last 2 weeks, last 2 games, the Broncos in both games have come from 14 points behind to win the game. You can't do that unless you're fit. That shows you where the Broncos are. They are a fit team. Can they do that against Melbourne this Sunday, though? Can they afford to give Melbourne a start? There's a bit of a narrative around. Paul Crawley said on 360 that he thinks Brisbane have to start fast, that they can't afford to let Melbourne get away to a start like that. For that reason, he likes the fact that of Ezra Mam starting the game to get that fast start out of the Broncos.
Yeah, I can understand that. Actually, I can totally understand that. But do you change a winning side? I don't know.
That's the big thing, though, isn't it?
I don't think you do. But you wouldn't tinker with it? I don't think you would.
Well, I don't know where they go with it because I understand the idea. You keep the winning side, but they cannot let Melbourne get away from them. And I think the mood Munster's in the way that Melbourne have been starting their games. Yeah. They're very aggressive. They'll come out with just like a full frontal force and just try and kick the doors down and go straight through the middle of them. Melbourne aren't a side that ever starts slowly. You've got to go with them. And Broncos, they have started slowly in both their games, those final games. The fact, it's great that they came from 14 points behind, but they also allowed themselves to be 14 points behind, which I think is something that we need to keep in our mind there. Maguire, though, does he tinker? What's the gamble? How big a gamble do you think it is?
You've asked a great question. I'll tell you why. They were behind to Penrith 14-0 at one stage, correct?
At halftime.
At halftime, okay. You just can't, Paul, continue to play elimination football. You just can't do it. It's just too hard. And it's been proven outside the 4 years. It's difficult to win. They fatigued Penrith. Melbourne aren't going to fatigue. We know that. And they've got the extra 2-day rest.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That is massive. Yeah, Maguire's come out and said, he's trying to say, what a lot of bullshit that is. He cannot come out and say it is an advantage. Yeah. He can't.
Is this a redemption story for Michael Maguire, this grand final? Does he have to win it to be a redemption story?
No, Paul, no. Do you think so?
Well, I think given the way he was treated West Tigers, the fact that they didn't allow him to coach the way he wanted to coach, the way they try to portray it as him being the problem. Yeah. When they got rid of him, he's left now. Fair enough. Yes, the Brisbane roster is a much better roster than West Tigers. But so far he's done all he's been expected to do with it.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. I'm liking the way they're going about it.
But can I say this, Paul? Can I just say, I want to give Kevy Walters a rap. I think he's done a great job to build that team up. Okay. Last year wasn't so good for him. But you're right, he has inherited a very good side, Maguire.
Well, he's inherited a good side, but they didn't do that well last year.
No, they didn't. Remember. Yeah, I agree.
And I think the edge, that steel on steel that we spoke about, I've spoken about before with Maguire, I think that's been the difference in the Broncos. I think that's what's got them through the finals at this point. Yeah. I think the Broncos of last year, and dare I say even the Broncos of the year before, when they in 2020, from 2023, I dare say they probably wouldn't have got through those 2 games that they played. 14 points against a Canberra side running hot, 14 points against a Penrith side who are Penrith who love nothing more than just putting a chokehold on you and off you go. They
totally agree.
I think the fact that they've come back in both those games really is testament to the shape that they're in, what they've done, and I think the coaching of Maguire. I want to just switch tacks now, Johnny. Matt Rogers has come out, and I like this. He's come out and he's talked about the kangaroo jersey, and as we sort of start to get our heads around the upcoming Ashes tour. Yeah, he said says the kangaroo jersey is being treated like an absolute piece of crap. The idea being that all these players waiting till the last minute. I think it started with James Tedesco to pull out only this week because of his brother's wedding. His argument to that was, well, look, the wedding was hardly booked this week. He would have known for some time.
Thank you.
So that's one. The other thing he wants to talk, he brought up too, is all these players who are waiting till the end of the season and say, suddenly pledging their allegiance to Samoa or Tonga and all the rest of it. And he says, well, obviously, it's a tender area. You got to be careful. But he said, well, he acknowledges and understands what they're doing. He said it should be a choice that's made once and once only. Why is the NRL not getting involved in this? Why are they not coming out and doing this and making a call about all this?
The Pacific nations.
Do you agree it's been treated like crap, though?
Yeah, I do. Honestly, once upon a time, Paul, it'd be a badge of honour to play for Australia.
Well, it was the highest jersey in the land.
Yeah, now
it's no longer treated like that. It's now treated like the afterthought. Like, I'll make a decision. I'm going to get picked for Australia, but I'll make a decision whether I make my preference.
Too many options.
One of those heritage nations.
Yeah.
And we get the reasons why players do it. But the flip-flopping back and around, at some point the NRL, I think, has got to come out and just say, you know what, guys, enough's enough. And when you pledge your loyalty to a nation, it stays that way. Yeah, because the other part to it is this. People argue at the moment, if you're a Tier 1 nation, Australia, New Zealand or England. You can't flip-flop. Once, that's it. If you're a Tier 2 nation, you can come back and forth depending on your whim. Some people are arguing Tonga, Samoa particularly, should be elevated to Tier 1 status. My understanding, I've spoken to the International Rugby League about this, and their explanation, which I think is solid but people don't understand, it's not about the performance of the international team. It's about the pathways, the junior growth, the size of the league in the country that we're talking about, which in both those countries, rugby league is relatively small and rugby union is the dominant code. And because of that, they're not really up to Tier 1 status in that respect. Certainly, they are at international level, but you can also argue that's because the players are playing here in the NRL. It's not like they're playing in their home nation and they're up to, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I don't think they should be made a tier 1 nation just yet. But we are at a stage where I think the international board's got to start making a change, don't they?
It's got to be soon, mate.
It's got to be soon, yeah.
It's got to be very soon. This is why I think...
Well, the World Cup's next year, isn't it?
End of next year, yeah.
End of next year. There should be some decision made before then. And the NRL should be pushing through on this.
Mate, funny enough, I was only speaking to Wayne Bennett about this a couple of months ago. That's why he wanted the Australian job. He wanted to bring back what it meant for a player to represent his country and not have options. Yeah. You pick Australia and that was it. That's why he wanted the job back badly.
Yeah, I think that's... Mel tried to do it, though. Mel did try to do it when he was the head coach. I think he did a pretty good job there for a while.
He did a very good job.
I think certainly since he's let this go, Mel's ability to talk to players and get them on board certainly works. I think Kevy's too nice a bloke in this regard. Kevy's had this, since he's got the job, he's come out and he said, look, I'll have a talk to Payne Haas, for example, and just see where his head's at. As far as I see, Kevy should be the one making the rules. Yeah. Not going cap in hand saying to Payne Haas, mate, we'd like you to come and play, but tell us what you want to do. While we all acknowledge the heritage status and their loyalty to that.
You can't go back and forth.
You can't go back and forth.
That's just not right. I totally agree with that, Paul.
Yeah, so what did we do? We get them to make a decision on that or what?
I think so. Sooner the better too.
If they don't, I'll send you around.
Well, it's been done before. Anyway. But I've retired, thank you.
The Dal M's are on tonight. Who wins?
Oh, the fullback for the Roosters has to win, doesn't it? Yeah, I think so.
What about
it's strange, eh? He's going to win it. He's going to pull it, representing Australia. I don't. Anyway.
You know what's interesting? I reckon someone like Will Kennedy might be a chance.
Because he's consistent. Yeah, he's very consistent.
And Cronulla won, what was it? I think their last 9 club games, they won 8.
Yeah, the back 8 or 9, they won them. He got points.
So
he could be a bowler, Paul.
He might be a bit of a sneaky.
Yeah, he got points every game. You're right.
Yeah, don't take a tip from me. Last time that happened, I got in trouble. But the other one I reckon might be a chance as well is Isaiah Katoa from the Dolphins. Now I know he was polling strongly when it went behind closed doors. And there's really nothing. I know they didn't make the 8. That's a bit of a concern. But his performance, even the way he closed out the season, was quite strong. It's a great call,
actually. Even for when they were losing the Dolphins, he was getting points here and there.
Yeah. You can see him picking up points.
It's a good call, actually.
That said, the Roosters did go on a bit of a roll themselves through the end of the season.
Yeah.
After closed doors.
Who was leading? Tedesco was leading.
I think Tedesco was just in front. Yeah. So anyway, look, it's going to be interesting. I thought there's a lot of talk around town. A lot of people basically think it's a no-brainer that Tedesco has got there. I was sort of a bit myself there earlier this week, and then I sat down and had a bit of a think about it. And I'm thinking about, hang on, you know what? Like Cronulla did come home strong.
You made a good call on Will Kennedy. Absolutely.
Yeah. The only issue maybe is whether towards a couple of those later games when Nico Hines and Braden Trindle stepped forward, whether he started to share a few points with them.
Yeah, they tallied points too. Hines and Trindle. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea what to pick for this multi.
Mate, try picking something from this menu.
You want to know who's hot? You need PointsBet. It's like hot sauce, but for sport. And now with the added spice of StatMate. So you know who's hot?
Oh, it's mine.
And who's not?
PointsBet, now with NRL player stats from StatMate. Yeah, that's built different. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
What do you think of this R360 come out today? They've come out last night. It's been confirmed last night that the NRL or the NRL agents have been confirmed that it's going ahead next season. It'll start next season, R360. The names that have already been mentioned, which Woz and I have been talking about this all week, and we knew the names, but we didn't want to sort of throw the names up until they had been confirmed somewhere else. But Ryan Pappenhausen is believed to have already signed, with the Storm permission. Zach Lomax, if he hasn't signed, he wants to sign, but he's got a contract with Parramatta still to go, which he still have years to run on that. And the other one is Jai Gray from South Sydney.
Wow. Which
it makes sense. They're the right players that you would go for
that game,
to
absolutely.
switch to that game, aren't they? The way they play the game.
Yeah.
But Peter V'landys has come out. Peter V'landys has come out and basically last night, before the confirmation from the agents, he still sort of
not taking it seriously, is he?
No, he wasn't taking it seriously, and he basically said, "Look, it's something that a bit pie in the sky stuff." His attitude to it was that it's not really looking like it's going to go ahead. There's nothing to worry about. Now they've since confirmed that's going to happen, and there is talk that up to a dozen rugby league players will leave. The interesting thing is Zach Lomax, if he's intending to go, as has been suggested, he's also supposed to go away. Well, more than likely will go away on this kangaroo tour.
And now he's got an option. Oh my God.
Well, does the NRL put out loyalty contracts? Given that they the attitude from headquarters is that they don't want players. They don't want to make it certainly easy for players to go and play R360. There's a bit of a feeling among the NRL clubs that they don't want this to happen. That if there's been suggestions that if they do go, they will be banned from coming back to rugby league, which I think is just rubbish. You're not allowed to do that. My opinions on that have changed from when I was younger. If you go away and you make it quick, good on you. Okay, as long as you're not walking out on contracts.
Yeah, Paul, I'm with V'landys. He's not too worried about it. I'll tell you why. These players you've named, Lomax and Pappenhausen and Gray, if they want to go, let them go, mate. It gives these other young kids opportunities. Yeah. We've got so many. The best players in our juniors in this country. I mean, we've got plenty of players that it will give them an opportunity. If they want to go, let them go. Good on them.
What about the kangaroo tour, though?
That's... Yeah.
What happens there? Because that's what I find the interesting part about it.
That's very interesting.
So I sit with you on that. If you want to go. Rugby league will find other players.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
But that considered, it's like Nwanga, okay?
He's going.
He's already announced he's going to rugby union. It's rumoured that he might also be going to R360. But do the Kangaroos, does Kevy Walters pick them, or does the NRL stop him from picking Lomax and Nwanga if that's what they intend to do?
I think, Paul, you've got to pick the best players available, mate. I think he's not going to 2017, correct? 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to play next year.
Well, no, the competition starts next year. The conversation Lomax has got to have is whether Parramatta, it sounds like, whether Parramatta will release him from what's left in his contract. Now, Nwanga, he finishes next season and goes to
so I'll be picking him for Australia.
Well, you sure? What about the development of other players? Australia can't take it as easily as they used to in the past with all these international players.
You just been given the head coaching job for Australia. You want to win it, don't you, Paul?
Yeah,
you want to pick the best available players.
But you're okay. That's Kevin Walters'. That's his thoughts. If you're Andrew Abdo, what are your thoughts?
Well, then Andrew Abdo's got to jump in and think of the future as well. I totally agree. So It's yes, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. I agree with you, Paul. It's a difficult. It's a very funny one.
Yeah.
But they won't jump in because they've said, Kevy Walters, you're the head coach. You pick the side you want.
Well, I heard that they were trying to get Kevy, and they hadn't told him, but they were sort of suggesting how good it would be. In other words, nose, wink, wink.
Say no more.
Yeah, if they picked Nwanganui before he had announced he was going to rugby, if they picked him to help try and keep him in rugby league. Now he sort of beat him to the punch. He beat him to the punch a bit with that. Okay, so that's irrelevant now, but it's still an issue.
It's a big issue.
Okay, I want to before we go any further, I want to ask you this.
Talk to me, my friend.
I haven't spoken to you since Penrith got knocked out.
I've been busy. You know why? You know what I've been doing.
Well, I know you. Well, there you go. Johnny's been working on his own little podcast.
Yeah, it's going to be a beauty. I'm not going to give too much away.
Can we give any of it away?
Let's just say a bit of sport, a bit of underbelly stuff, and we'll align it together. I think it'd be great.
Mate, I remember talking to Les Vara once, the old Balmain player who, if you Google him, you'll find out he didn't know how to play for Balmain. But Les said to me one day, he said, Paul, in all my time knocking around Sydney, he said, every rugby league player wants to be a gangster.
Absolutely.
And every gangster wants to be a rugby league player. And that's why, that's what gives that's what keeps the likes of Valinis and Abdo up at night, because they often find each other.
Can you imagine if they were around 30 years ago? Anyway,
yeah. Well, mate, don't worry. I think there's still a little bit of getting around.
Yeah.
Anyway, I haven't spoken to you, so I wanted to talk to you about the Penrith. I don't know is it the end of the dynasty, or is it just a glitch in the dynasty? Because there's a bit of talk that the dynasty's over. I loved Ivan Cleary's comment when he was asked in the press conference after the game, "Is the dynasty is it all over?" And he said, "What's over?"
That's a great response. I mean, my thinking is, Paul, okay, what these same players that are together, the nucleus of the Penrith side, okay. In the next 5 or 6 years, if they don't win a premiership, it's over. Okay, because they won't be together.
And we look back at this point saying, it was over.
But if they're going to, in the next couple of years, win 2 out of the next 3, it continues, mate. It has continued. Yeah. Because the crux of the players still together. Yeah. Who came up with that?
Oh, look, it's just going around. Some people think because the 4 in a row is done, the dynasty's over. I'll say this. You go back through history, and I'm not talking about rugby league now, but you talk about dynasties and anti-dynasties. They don't come without the odd lost battle.
What about Broncos? They won 3 in a row or something, lost 2 then?
Well, they won 92, 93. They won, they missed, Canberra won 89, 90, beaten in the grand final 91, won the grand final in 94, so they had a period.
There you go.
You look at the Broncos won 92, 93, came back again and won in, 97, 98, 2000.
Please.
So it's fair to say that 10 years.
With the same players, That is a dynasty.
Bit of an era. I really think Penrith will be back next year, though.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah.
And I think he's realised, Ivan, you got to finish in the top 4. It's just too difficult.
Yeah, but see, John, look, you looked at round 12 they were last. It will not happen again.
Never.
Okay? They won't be last next year at any point in the season. There was reasons around why they finished last, which was their defence was all over the shop. Yeah. They had so many younger players come in who struggle with the system. And as you know, when you defend as a team, you have to defend as a unit. And the outside guy has to follow whatever so the guy defending inside him slides, then you slide. Yep. If he goes up and in, then you get up and jam in with him. If he goes up and slides out, then you've got to do that. They have one guy was sliding, the other guy was jamming in.
They lost their rhythm early, Paul. Then they got it back.
Well, they got it, but he taught them. He coached them,
of course,
and they came around. And now, but those guys will be there next year, so they'll be able to get through it. So
yes,
I think they'll be certainly the where my money's probably going to go next season with PointsBet when I look at the premiers. So I think that they're going to be a very, very strong contender next season.
It's a great team.
They should be favourites actually next season already.
No
matter who wins this week. I can't see them getting beat.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were.
All right, we're getting near the end there, mate. Let's put you out of your misery soon.
Rather enjoyed being with you, Paul. Rather enjoyed it, mate.
I want to run this past you, Johnny. This is sort of a bit of a philosophical question. Okay. Something that, one of my mates, Joel Keegan, who trains Sam Goodman, he's a boxing trainer.
Okay.
And very good boxing coach. And I've known him for nearly all my life, and we talk often about coaches, different coaches, and the way they approach the game and whatnot. And I think in boxing, obviously, the big example is Johnny Lewis and how he coaches his fighters and trains them to fight. And Johnny was always an effort trainer. And what I mean by that was Johnny would get you fit, get you hard, but he would coach you never to quit and to keep going, to be super fit, to be aggressive and all the rest of it, as opposed to some other boxing trainers who probably don't put as much emphasis on that, but they're very much about technique and footwork and how you adjust through the skill through the ring, right? Now, rugby league's very much the same. The perfect examples to give you a look at this is back in the day, Jack Gibson, just coach, be the best you can be. Go out and play your hardest. Yeah. He coached. He started doing tackle counts, essentially to call out the guys who were bludgeoned. Yes. On the flip side was Warren Ryan, who was all technique, strategy, and what we've seen over the years is, like I dare say, the blending of both. Both. Okay, but Wayne Bennett's still very much an effort coach. Yes. That's the way he coaches. You look at someone, say, Anthony Seibold, he's a skill technique coach, okay? Yes. Once again, though, this grand final, you'd have to say that as much as we think technique is the future, the way it all goes, the two coaches in this game are effort coaches. Craig Bellamy and Michael Maguire are probably I dare say, along with the Raiders this year, were the three fittest teams in the competition. Yeah, I agree with that. And that's what's got them through. So for all the X's and O's and all the video and all this stuff that we sit and talk about, and all the shapes that we want to play and all the rest of it, the two coaches, three of the last four that have got there, have all been coaches who coach effort first. Yeah. What does that say about the game, you reckon?
That says a lot about the game. I think for this weekend's game.
Well, yeah, just like where do you see it going? Yeah, where do you see this weekend's game? But the big picture too about where our game is heading for all the work we're putting in. The game's it's still who's fit and hard and ready to play.
It's back to the old school of Jack Gibson. Who's the fittest and durability, fitness. Yes, technique plays a part, Paul. But what I want to say is both teams are going to have a lot of effort on Sunday, okay? But I want to break it down to the spine, and that's where the technique's going to come from. I really believe Melbourne's got the better spine. I mean, they've got the better 6, 7, 9 and 1. And, hey, Broncos have got a great spine as well. I just think the experience of last year's loss, I think they'll have the advantage when it comes to technique.
Yeah. And the other thing is
they'll both have effort. Effort's going to be there.
Yeah, the effort's going to be there. And you look at the way, as you start to break down the game, there's not a lot in the spine, okay? You give Broncos the edge at fullback. Yes. But I think you give Melbourne the edge at the other three, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Not by a lot, but they still get the edge.
Yes. Effort's going to be there. If you can't lift yourself for the grand final, well, you shouldn't be there. Effort will be there on both teams. It's that little 1% of the technique that's going to come from a Munster, Jerome Hughes, Pappenhausen. He's one for the weekend, Paul. He hasn't done it in 10 weeks, this bloke. I'm going to put it out there now. Harry Grant has not done a 40-20 in 10 weeks. I believe he's going to do one for the grand final. There you go.
There you go. So Melbourne by how much?
I think I heard Cooper Cronk come out and say Melbourne 28, Broncos 10. I agree with him. I know it's a massive.
That's a big score.
It's a massive
big score in a grand final.
Yeah, it is a big score.
All right, there you are. Thanks for another day. Thanks for stepping in, mate. I appreciate that.
My pleasure, mate. I just,
All right, there you are. We'll be back tomorrow. That's another day of Kenty BLITZ. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully Warren's out of hospital. He's put some ice on the cartilage and he's fighting fit. We'll wait and see how that goes. Look, he's never the picture of health at the best of times anyway, but hopefully he can recover in time. He's not good on recovery either, is the other thing. What?
Paul, was he a good footballer in his day?
I don't know, John. I don't recall hearing about him. We'll see you tomorrow.
I see you, mate. Thanks for having me, Paul.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.